Hello everyone, welcome back to Manufactoria 2020. We have opened up the path out of financial tech and into governance. I think I want to have a look at Venturesome first, though, before I go, so let's do that. We were rolling in money now. Our cash reserves were so large we'd started splitting them between multiple countries, just in case. I figured it was about time we started investing that money back into the stock market in a systemic way, not circuitously, but with circuits. Humans couldn't beat high-frequency traders, but robots could. We have 3s and 2s. I guess these are dollars. I sort of thought they were pennies for whatever reason, but okay. 2? Okay, any other power of 2? Oh, boy. Alright, so this is like a somewhat harder version of one we did a while ago where we computed powers of 2, right? What was that one? Was it in here? I don't think it was. I'm never going to find it from all this, right? Who knows from these names? But it couldn't have been in here. Actually, it was in red, wasn't it? Somewhere? Junk mail junker? Yeah, look at that. So a power of 2. But not 0. And so I think you have to apply the same algorithm, but it just like has a... It's harder because you're not dealing with 1s. The algorithm is like, every time through the tape, you have the amount of money. And so, well, first you check if there's only 1 left. In that case, you accept. But after that, if you found at least 1, then you remove half of the tape. Half of the squares. And if you ever fail, like basically by removing them 2 at a, you read 2 and remove 1, or replace 1. And if you ever fail to do that, then it wasn't a power of 2. Doing that for this seems much harder. How do you even remove half? I was imagining something where, like, maybe you don't remove half. Maybe you somehow manage to put a marker in between, like, the half on the money is... The amount on the left is equal to the amount on the right. And in that case, you could delete one of those 2 halves. But, well, If it's a power of 2, then it can never be divisible by 3, right? Is that important? There could be, you know, an even number of 3s, like there could be 4 of them, I think. Or even like 2 3s and a 2 would do it. How would we handle 2 3s and a 2? Alright, I'm not smart enough to do Venturesome today. We will hopefully come back to it later. In the meantime, let's move on to governance. Danica had changed a lot from the early days as product designer, but she cared just as much about her work. It was more obvious than ever as she ran our new Good Government department, working to overcome bureaucracy. Danica had remade her body. Now she'd remake societies. Was she the one who was like a robot who was only, or not a robot, but I don't know. He was like a cyborg maybe, and had interest only in the weirdest designs, I guess. We had her back here. And that's Duncan, I see. I was thinking of this person, but that's a totally different person. Okay, so Duncan has become Danica. Interesting. Well, let's start with Lecturobot, an introduction to whatever we're learning in this area. Danica had adopted an 8-year-old a year or two back, since her body had more motors than muscles. Her kids' teachers were overworked and hard-pressed to keep up. If they had robots to give lectures on their behalf, imagine how much time they'd have to prepare new course plans and do everything else they needed. Okay, new concept. Delete the first task. Is any number of blue followed by a red? So this is a task of size 2, I guess they're saying. This is a task of size 0, and this is a task of size 1. Okay, so this is a way to... this section will involve our input being groups of numbers, and this is in unary, basically. So delete the first task, if any. Okay. Well, that's remove blues until you get to a red, and remove that, right? So... we could do this faster. And we will in a minute, but I want to just get minimum stampers. So when you get to the first red... we accept. I don't like this. It kind of hurts me on area, you know? I can do better by reusing this. Well, maybe better. So this is how we remove blues, see? We get to a red. Oh wait, is it just that? We remove all the blues till we get to a red, and then we accept. Yeah, it's just this, right? Well, this ought to be minimal on scanners and stampers, I'll tell you that. Lectures were easy to program in, but handling a class of bored 8-year-olds was a bit trickier. Many robots fell to their tantrums. Once we thought to add glowing red eyes, extra deep voice modulator, and a built-in laser pointer that we labeled a death ray, though, things improved. Turned out all we needed to keep control of the kids was to terrorize them. So, yeah, this is the scanner. Really? There's no better time? That doesn't seem right. We should be able to improve time. Right? By making sure we copy blues without ever leaving. Without ever stepping off of a scanner. I'm kind of surprised they don't make you do this for time. Because it's a pretty straightforward strategy that you learned a while ago, right? But okay, fine. Oh, interesting. And then once you do deputy, you're free to leave if you want. Okay. When Danica suggested we could improve policing, she clarified that she didn't mean that police officers would need to replace as much of themselves as Danica had. Even those who didn't want to become Robocops, though, might want to have a robo-partner? Make each task one blue larger, then produce. Well, that seems pretty easy. We copy blues till we get to a red, then we write blue-red, and then we repeat the loop. We get to a red, and we write blue, red. Right? I don't think you can do any better on area for this, probably. Or time? You probably could do better on time by getting rid of this, by making a copy of the machine again and putting... Yeah. Well, we'll do this first. Actually, though... Oh, it's wrong. Oh. Oh, it never finishes. I needed to put a green in. Right. Oops. No, stop. Okay. When user reports came back, I was disappointed to hear that our deputies were mostly left working desk jobs. Danica was fine with it, though. You could make a lot of impact from behind the scenes, she told me. So, could we improve this loop? I kind of think no. Well, not in an obvious way, but it could be possible. Like, to do a loop with 3 things in it, you need 4 tiles, right? There's no other way to reroute back to the beginning. However, you could externalize and like, maybe you could build a loop that's 3 long, and next to it have another loop that's 3 long. And have them bounce between those 2. Not a loop, a single thing that's 3 long. Kind of code recursion, right? Or, well, anyway. I guess code recursion isn't really... So, time 48. Scanners 5. Yeah, okay. So are people doing this faster? Yeah. I think it would be interesting to do that. So, we go down there, maybe? No. There? Grab all this. So we wrote a blue and a red, and we need to now enter one of these nodes, right? And we want the blue to kind of dangle off to the side, so it goes down. Oh. There we go. We need to be able to handle greens still. And the red goes up, and we write a blue and a red on our way in here. Question, where exactly is the start point, though? The way I've written it, there's no... A loop that's 3 by 2, where all... Oh, how funny. Okay, so the problem is, right, any way you can enter this loop is tough, right? It's a problem somehow. If you enter on a red or a blue, well, you might not have wanted to write any reds or blues. Maybe the task was empty. Or the input was empty. And you can't really enter on one of these, right? Because all their slots are taken. Oh no, I'm so dumb. I was like, oh, I figured out, I was going to explain to you my cute trick, which was, watch, I'm going to have a pipe so we can get in from the front of this. But that doesn't work. Because if you put a pipe here, where exactly are you putting the exit part, right? You have to come in over, like, in this direction, which is the exact opposite of this direction. So it follows that going out would lead you back in, which is no good. Okay. But maybe we haven't gone far enough. I duplicated... I duplicated the bot once, or I would if I had finished this, but I realized it wasn't going to work, right? I mean, we can do it just for demonstration's sake, but it still fully fills a 3x2 block. What if we tried to make this... Now, we could try to make it 3x3, of course, but in that case, we have only 6 instructions to put onto 8 blocks, which means we need 2 conveyor belts, which is no better than what we started with, of 3 and 1. But what if we made it even bigger? Eventually, it must work, right? What if we made it 4x3? How much space is there in that? 4, 8, 10, 12. Well, again, that's an even number, it exactly factors this. So I think if we want to find a gap, we need to make it 4 by... Oh no, I don't care for a gap. It's perfect. I'm glad it divides, because if I make it 4 by 3, then the entire outer ring can be composed only of important pieces. But importantly, there will be an inner ring into which I can stick the node that adds a green arrow. And that will enter at one of these nodes. So let's grab this and push it. We'll make things 4 wide and 3 tall. I want it like this. No, like this, to be 4 wide. This is a problem, though, because I've put these guys at the corners, which is where there isn't enough room to enter them. So... Oh, but don't they kind of have to be at the corners? Oh, maybe this idea doesn't work out. Because they need to be able to... Well... You need to enter them from a red node. And then they only get re-entered if you want to stamp a blue. So I can't have the red or blue point back the way they came, right? Also, didn't I miscount? There actually isn't an even... This doesn't evenly divide? 4 by 3... I was measuring 4 by 4. I need... Yeah, I think these have to be at the corners the way I've designed this. Because... Well... Blue has to be off to the side, and the red has to be continuing. Unless I could find some very clever way of not having the blue be off to the side. Could I... But I don't think I can, because I have to write only one blue before the red. I can't afford to write several blues and then on the way out, like, write the red that we were kind of putting off. Yeah, I don't think this idea works for improving time. Clearly some people have figured it out. Is it even possible that you could do a different algorithm? Well, I guess. I don't think it would be a better algorithm, but you could stamp an extra blue. No, this doesn't even work. I was thinking you could stamp an extra blue before you read the next task, and then plan to duplicate it, and if you don't find anything, you just erase the blue. But that won't work, because your read head will be at the wrong place. Alright. I give up. This is my solution. And it's fine. Right, we got all the metals. I just thought there was something cleverer, and apparently there is. But I don't see it. Yeah, these 4-star ones are kind of tough. Let's look at Roboparalegal. Maybe do it today, maybe not. I'd visited our in-house lawyers recently and noticed a whole bunch of people milling around who were clearly not the high-powered professionals they paid so much for. Paralegals, apparently. A whole army of specialized, trained assistants taking up valuable space and air and money at my company. It was long past time for me to replace them all with robots. Produce robots if all of their tasks are the same length when they enter. Okay. So the obvious basic idea of an algorithm is like read the entire input, shortening each task by 1, and then go to start. If you ever encounter a task that's like, yeah, right? I mean, that seems like it should work. I don't see anything wrong with the idea that's going to become difficult in the implementation either. It just like takes a little bit of elbow grease. So we stamp green first, of course. And then we enter the main loop. Probably like this. We're going to need to re-enter this state. I guess if it's empty, we can just accept, because that could happen. Yeah, true. If it's red, then we enter a new state where our job is to remove all reds and reject on blue, right? Like that. So if the first task was empty, then they should all be empty. That's easy. And I think we could improve the time on this bottom half if we wanted to, but for now, let's just keep it simple. I say I think. It does look pretty easy. Sure, let's just do it. Doesn't cost anything in time, in space, I think, or it costs a stamper actually. Okay, so those are gonna be 2 different solutions. Now, if we read a blue, then what we must do is copy blues till we find a red. Gonna need more space here. Oh, I could put a pipe there, I guess. Copy blues until we find a red. And I don't need to worry about this because I know I won't run into a green. There was a blue on the way in, so there must be a red following it. Yeah. And when I receive a red, gosh, I'm gonna end up writing a lot in this area. I think maybe putting a pipe here is a bad idea. I should scoot over a bit first. Now I found my first red. I need to write it back. So that was the first task shortened by 1. Now I need to start copying tasks. Or no. Go through every remaining task and shorten it by 1, failing if it, or throwing it in the junk if it's impossible to do so. And succeeding on green. So I think I can get away with this, probably. Enter here, and if it's green, we accept. If it's red, we reject. Oh, I'm gonna need more space than this. So if it's red, we reject, because we found an empty task, and our job was to shrink all tasks by 1. If it's blue, then we succeeded in... We found another thing to do in the list of tasks. So now we just copy until the next task, right? Which should look like that? Maybe I didn't need more room. Because I think now this green just goes to down here. Why did I accept in this case, by the way? Because in that case, there's only one task. Oh. So it's fine to accept here, but not like critical. I could let that slide into this area and be fine as well. So suppose that I took all of this. Unbelievable. I do have enough room to do this, I think. All right, let's see what happens. It won't run because I removed the start point. Fair. I assume this is broken somehow? No? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, phew. So, show me. We received 2 tasks of length 1 and then an empty one. So I read the first task. Oh, whoops. I actually need to go back to this green state. I need to put the green stamp back, of course. What about this green? When this green... This is fine, I think. Like that? So when we run out of tasks, we just enter the main loop and put a stamp back on. Okay, this is still wrong for the same input. I know I can like use keyboard shortcuts to step one at a time, but I kind of like controlling it with the mouse. So we shortened the first task by 1. We entered here. And we said, okay, that's it. And I replace the first task with one of length 0, and I go here. I find another task to... Oh, I'm not supposed to go back to this. I'm supposed to go back to somewhere in here. I'm supposed to get back to... Oh, this red goes elsewhere, right? Oh, something's wrong here. Yeah, see, I stamped the red back, and then I went here, which is wrong. I should go up, and only come down here if it's green. Oops. There. Still wrong, but a different input this time. So we successfully shrunk the first task. We're now shrinking the second task. We succeeded at that. Ah, I accepted here. That is wrong. Oh, of course, this green can never go here. There's never going to be a green before a red while we're copying tasks. So this is supposed to go around like that. Okay, well, so much for my brilliant routing. Okay, that's better. It's gross, but I think it's pretty good on scanners and stampers, right? Like, how could I have done better? I don't know, probably somehow. Danica had been spending quite a lot of time with lawyers lately, which was helpful for this project. Her real goal, though, was legalization of non-traditional personhood. There had been a number of recent reversals for artificial intelligence in the courts, but she was confident the arc of history bent their way. Yeah. Oof. Really? Could have done it with fewer scanners and stampers. Quite a few. Well... the obvious thing to improve is that somehow you could merge these two sections, right? Yeah, in fact, do I need these at all? What if from here, I just came straight to this node? Wouldn't that be fine? Because what we would do is exactly what this does, and its only exit is red, which goes, yeah, so I just need to get from here to here. Okay, we can do that much at least. It's gonna be even worse for my time. But we can wipe all that. There must be something more clever than just doing that, but that's what I see at the moment. Yeah, so we get the scanner and stamper bonus now. And there's just an unbelievable number of conveyor belts that we could somehow improve routing-wise, right? Well, if we don't need this section over here, one obvious improvement would be to take this stuff and move it to the right a bit. Right? That improves it a little bit and is still correct. And that is my best time, so okay, great. It's obviously still quite bad. It does actually seem like I don't need this green output. I can just feed straight into this node, can't I? So let's again move things around. And now it's not looking so bad, actually. Like, it's not great. My area is much improved, I think. Yeah, we should get the area bonus, right? I needed 25? Yeah. Okay. And if I could just get rid of some of these conveyor belts, I'd be a happy man. One thing you could do, of course, would be to like run a pipe through here so the blue thing is here. But that slows down this loop at the expense, and it just saves you like 2 ticks in like it slows down the inner loop at the expense of speeding up the main loop, which is obviously not worth. Oh, we can improve this. We talked about this already. It's going to be a very minor improvement, but I guess it's easy to add. Yeah, so we're getting close now. That's a nice tight little block, I like that. I wonder if there's again some trick with duplicating the whole machine. So like, this point, instead of coming down to the green here, goes to the green of a machine that's oriented kind of like this. But I think that would just make it worse. Let's find out. You know what, let's move this first so there's room for it. Right, so we do that. This actually does look pretty good, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, they fit together like puzzle pieces. Look at that. Is that right? $284. Oh, I love it. Look at this. Nobody could ever understand this. Still not 200 or less. Is it possible that they have a totally different algorithm, or did they just find a way to do without these 2 conveyor belts? Wait, I don't need... Oh, I do need that belt. It comes from here, I see. Yeah, I think this is as much exploration as I'm going to do of this level. Pretty cool, though, I think. I had fun with that one. We came up with 3 related but different solutions, right? This is our fastest time, fewest stampers, and least area is basically the same thing, but with a little bit of redundancy. What was my slowest, just out of curiosity? 1 giant task. Interesting. That makes some sense, I think, because the work you do is quadratic in number, in size of tasks, but linear in number of tasks. Okay. Oh, wait, but this is on my not my fast machine. Load my fast machine. Also, hang on. Did anyone do better on, like, the other metrics? Area, yes. Oh wait, hang on. Load my area solution, I guess. Or wait. This is my best, right? Yeah, I'm in a zone nobody explored. Huh. Everyone who tried to cram things down got it even smaller. 20 or less. Which, I mean, suggests removing one of these, right? Do I ever get here? I do, right? When all the tasks... Like, this is... Well... Here I very rarely get to, because that's only when there are no tasks at all. But here I get to all the time. This is my main accepting node. I use this rejector, right? When would that happen? If I saw blue, shortened the first task. If I couldn't shorten the second or third or fourth or whatever task, I would wind up here. Wait a minute, why does this blue go down here? Am I... Ah, because once I've shortened a task, I then have to copy it, and that goes here. But if I then find a task with 0 items, I need to reject. So I do need all of these entry and exit points. I could maybe locate them better somehow. Ah, of course! I've done this before. Yes. Okay. A very fruitful technique that shows up all the time. I don't need this one. I can take this and just use a white scanner instead of a green one to send it up into this node, which knows how to dispose, how to accept robots. There we go. Okay, 20 or less. Very good. Now I think we are really done with Roboparalegal. We couldn't quite catch up to the time folks, who were, like, really good, apparently. Okay. Since you insist, I'll look at time again. But really, what is this mess, right? I don't have any idea how to improve this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're done for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.